Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move.
K-pop fans, welcome back to K-pop Girls. Welcome to your new Mark. I'm Bree. Oh, my bra. I got no limit. We're done. Sound for somebody.
Oh my god, that's me again. See, this is a day. We should be heard now. Hi again for the fourth time.
Oh my god.
And this podcast
It's
is
going
going
so
great
well.
so far. I swear to God, we're gonna get used to this. I swear we're gonna get used to it.
Right?
We got used to Twitch. It took us a little while. We'll get used to this. Just give us give us
Right.
some time. Man.
We try. So, again, for the third or fourth time, God knows what now. Welcome to kcord, where nothing goes right. And we do our best.
We do our best. Yeah. At least we can say that.
So, right? So this is our first episode for a podcast that we're hoping to start. We're wanting to go live here, and then I'm gonna hope for the best that I can figure out how to upload a podcast. And right,
Nope,
that's just us,
All us. Yeah.
right? And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna discuss like hot topics in like K-pop, or at least what we deem hot topics, and
What's
K-drama.
interesting to us and we think might
Yeah.
be interesting to K-cordies.
Exactly. And K-drama, kcord news, and just like one of the kcord type things is going to be, people have asked us often, like, what in the world is a husband in the kcord world? And so we're going to get into that. And I guess we'll start with K-pop topics first.
Oh, and
There's
super
been
chats
some-
if we have any.
Oh, if we have
We'll
any
end
super
with that.
chats, we will, we'll read them at the end.
Yep.
We'll read super chats at the end. Unless it's like $50 or more or something, and we'll read those right away or something like
We
that.
don't know. It is our first
So-
time doing this.
Yeah, we don't know. We just winging it at this point. So obviously. So we'll start, I guess, with the K-pop news. There's been some like K-pop drama going on that we've just, want to give our opinions on. Recently, or I guess, I don't know. It feels recent because it's become like a bigger issue in like the K-pop world, is protest trucks being sent to K-pop industries about like groups and stuff. In the past month, there's been 3 fleets sent out to 3 different companies about 3 different groups, and it's getting kind of out of hand a little bit. On one of them, though, I can understand the stands that sent the trucks. What happened is that stands of Everglow sent a truck to High Entertainment or anyways, stating their concerns about the group not having to come back for over 500 days, which is about, I think, 18 months or so, I think.
I don't number, so I don't know.
I don't know either. That requires math. That's not happening. But so Everglow hasn't had a comeback in over 500 days, which I think roughly is about 18 months, year and a half, somewhere in there. And a lot of it was, I think, Stans thought it had to do with like the Chinese members going back to China for a while, and I know some of or at least one of the girls was trying to make a breakthrough over there, and then ended up coming back to Korea, and the Stans thought that they would get a comeback then, and then they didn't. And they've just been patiently waiting and have just kind of hit their breaking point and sent out the protest trucks. In this case, I can understand it, honestly.
I don't blame them.
So, yeah.
I don't blame them. Everglow is a really... I think they're... After Blackpink, they were probably my second favorite girl group. Or the second girl group that I started to like really like when I got into K-pop.
Right.
Because they have, I don't know, just an interesting sound and, I don't know, badass vibes, which is something I always really enjoy in girl groups. So I can understand when you really, really love a group and there's nothing going on, you're not even getting any updates or any news or anything from the company, which someone did kindly point out to us in our first attempt at this podcast, that the company that Everglow is under is a Chinese company. Right. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but I can understand fans' frustrations.
Yeah, I do completely. That's a long time to wait for a comeback, especially when you see other groups or you even stand other groups and you see a good variety of comebacks. There's some groups that have like 2 a year, and there's some that only do 1 a year, which is great too. Not overworking the idols and such, but a year and a half, that's a long time.
Yeah,
that's a long time. And the company hasn't released any statements on whether to expect a comeback or not.
And that makes it harder too when there's no updates at all. There's no communication.
Yeah. Exactly. So like the Stans have like no timeline of when a comeback is going to happen. So in that scenario, I can understand their need to send out these protest trucks.
They want their voices heard.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what it really comes down to a lot of the times with these trucks, is that the fans just simply want their voices heard. And in some cases like this, I find it extremely understandable. I understand the frustration. I understand them wanting to be heard. In other cases, I can't help but be like, I don't know if you need to be heard right now, because there's we gonna get to that with the other trucks that have been getting sent out, because
we can go into the next one, the next truck that was sent out, and this isn't in timeline order. This is, I don't know, in my opinion, like progressively like
getting worse.
Like not so bad to like y'all.
Right.
So like the next fleet of trucks that were sent out were engines to
Let's not group them all together like that. Let's not. Some engines, okay? Some engines, okay?
Yes.
Because I think there's a lot of engines out there that were like, hey, this ain't us. This was like a very small minority who just happened to have enough money to do this.
Exactly. Exactly. So a set of engines, sent out a fleet of trucks to Hybe in protest of the Bite Me dance performance. They were upset that the company put the female backup dancers with the guys and are demanding that the female backup dancers be removed from the choreography because they find it inappropriate for the age of some of the guys to be dancing with girls.
See, and I can understand that argument to a degree. To a degree. I can.
Yeah.
But it's not inappropriate dancing. It's not like they was bumping and grinding. It was almost ballroom style dancing, but with even less physical contact than ballroom style dancing. So
Right. Exactly. That is also my opinion. I honestly think these stands overstep their lines and are demanding things that just aren't practical. I mean, we saw the Bite Me MV. We haven't seen the dance performance yet, so we haven't seen the full choreography. But just knowing like Hybe's history and in Hypen's history, and just I don't know. I don't see the choreography getting worse than what was in the MV, and I don't feel like the MV choreography was inappropriate.
Agreed.
So
not only that, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Come on, let's be honest. Y'all not upset about the ages. The people who set up this truck are not upset about the ages. They use that because they were like, no one's gonna argue with us about the ages because Nikki is legit a minor, you know, and everyone I think on some degree can relate with that side of things. They're using that argument because they are jealous that the guys are dancing with girls and not dancing with them. And yes, I see in the chat, a small percentage of so-called fans are probably, I'm gonna say, I don't know for a fact because I don't know who these people are personally, but I imagine these are probably some of those what we like to call Delulu fans who think they legit have a relationship with the artists and look at things like this as if they're being cheated on.
Exactly.
And it's like, you need to come back to reality, please. Please come back to reality. Because that choreo is beautiful. And you know what? Nikki helped choreograph that. So not only are you basically getting upset about something that you really don't need to be getting upset about in the first place, but you're also kind of being disrespectful to one of the artists that you claim to care about. This artist that you're supposedly angry for is one of the ones who helped with the choreo. So you're gonna go after him now for it? Because that's what you're doing by sending these trucks. You're going after him just as much as you're going after the company. You're gonna make him feel bad because you're angry that he's touching a female.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, because of extra content that we watched with Nikki and because of like Island and stuff, we do know things like this gets to him. Yeah. You know, he's very young. He doesn't know how to process negative feedback all the time. And so like something like this could really get to him. He could be really upset going, did I actually choreograph something inappropriate? Did I do something inappropriate? You know, I'm not saying that's what he will do, but I'm just saying I could easily see him do this. Yeah. You know, like, am I really in the wrong?
Yeah, I could easily see him upset about this.
Yeah, where he really wasn't, because the choreography was fine.
Agreed.
So, because that was one of the huge discussions that we had on the Bite Me MV was that, you know, we were concerned about how the choreography and all that was going to go. We had some kcord joke going, you're going to ground Nikki. Is Nikki grounded? Yes, because he stuck his tongue out. And
that's
it was like,
though.
Sure. No, you're too young for that. But as far as like the actual MV goes and the actual choreography, it was fine.
It was age appropriate.
And yeah, and it was. And they just, fans are getting upset.
It's just
over
an
nothing.
Excuse. It's an excuse for them to get angry and to play into their own delusions. And if I remember correctly, So what the truck was about too was they specifically wanted the female dancers removed from any music show performances.
Right.
Um and I think it's hilarious what wound up happening. I honestly do. I think it's so funny. So apparently fans were really mad because what wound up happening was for I know I heard that they did this at least for one of the music show performances, and I'm going off of personal tweets from people that have been there and just from different articles I had read. But apparently what had happened was they, invited all the fans, to come watch the performance live for the live recording, the live pre-recording. And when the choreo was done, which for the entire performance, no female backup dancers. They did the entire thing with no female backup dancers. The guys did the choreo all themselves. And then when it was done, the production team was like, okay, now everybody leave and get out. And they rushed everyone out. And then they re-recorded the ending with the female dancers and used that ending for what they posted online and aired on TV. And fans were mad. Some fans who weren't even against the choreo were mad because they thought it was childish to even play that kind of game. I think it was smart as hell. Get mad at me. I don't care. That was smart. You guys were like, "Hey, we'll give you what you want, but we're also going to do what we think is right and what we want to."
Mhm.
And they did. The fans were upset about having to watch it live. Guess what? You didn't have to watch it live. You did it. You got to watch them live by themselves, but that's not what's going to be aired to everyone else, and that's not what should be aired to everyone else.
Right. Hybe was literally making a situation where it was best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And Hybe was also making a situation where they weren't just catering to the select few that were upset about it, because international stands also hired trucks to park outside of Hybe with a message saying bite me choreography is the best. So international fans were letting Hybe know, don't change it. We love it. Stick with it, So
And exactly. So it's like, those fans that didn't want to see it live, they didn't have to watch it live, and the international fans who did want to see it, did want to see the choreo as it should be, got to see it as it should be. I just remember, I'm sorry, what you said just reminded me of something, because I thought you were about to say international fans sent a truck that said bite me, which was what I remember someone on Twitter saying that's what Hybe's response should be to this entire thing, is just bite me.
Right?
So
just bite me, right? We ain't interested. Just bite me. Right? So it just, I think it's just one of those situations where, stands are going too far, and going as far as sending protest trucks outside of Hybe to speak for all engines, when clearly that is not.
I'm an engine, and y'all sure as hell don't speak for me.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. And again, we, going to the next group that was victim of these stupid trucks. At this point, I'm just like, just take the trucks away.
No more trucks. Y'all are not allowed.
Take the trucks away. I mean, the company is going to send trucks out as long as they're getting paid. They send the trucks out,
right?
But like, someone take them away, because the next group, it was EXO, where on May 26th, fans admitted that they sent protest trucks to SM Entertainment demanding that Chen and Xiaoyul was to be removed from the group, stating that EXO fandom, or EXO-Ls, demands the departure of Chen and Xiaoyul from the group, arising from controversies linked to their personal lives, which EXO-L believe will negatively impact the group. So, it's just, and a lot of netizens are divided on this, stating that some are saying that SM should listen to the fans and their opinions on the situation, while others are stating that the fans are overstepping their bounds. And since the controversies are over Chin's engagement and Chaoyul's dating and cheating rumors, I'm more prone to go, you kind of keep your business to yourself if that's why you think they should leave. These guys are in their 30s. If they want to date or they want to get married, that is none of your business.
Right? What do you want them to do?
Again,
Wait until they're in their 40s or 50s? Not that that would be a bad thing
right,
if that's what they chose to do. But, I mean, come on now.
right, exactly. Again, it's fans that are living in their Delulu land
Mhm.
and upset that they're not the ones being dated or
Yeah.
engaged to these guys.
And
It's just like, and I know that Chanuels is over like his some of it's over like his cheating, because apparently one of his exes came forward saying that he cheated on me. Girl, keep your dirty laundry in your closet,
yeah.
because not everybody needs to know that. That's my opinion on it.
I'm looking at it this way. Do I agree with cheating in a relationship? No. Is it any of my business what someone else does in their relationship? No. Okay?
Exactly.
And it certainly does not impact them as an artist or a singer or a dancer or a performer. It doesn't change that, you know? Does it
Right.
maybe make you step back and go, maybe one of my favorite idols doesn't have the best sense of morals? Sure. But again, these are humans. These are freaking human beings.
Right.
You know, they're gonna make
Exactly.
mistakes. They're gonna, you know, it's just,
Right.
yeah.
And
I
I
hate the
don't know.
cheating scandal rumor crap. Whether it's true
Right.
or not, I hate it. I don't care. I'm sorry.
I feel like
I
it's
don't
none
care.
of my business
Exactly. That's why
to
I don't
know whether
care.
someone's cheating. And as far as like cheating goes, is that a good attribute? No, of course not. I mean, I wouldn't date a cheater personally, but I'm not going to date this guy, so why do I
Exactly.
care?
And that's the problem, is a lot of them are like, well, if he's a cheater, then I'm not going to date him. Sweetheart, I hate to break it to you. You're not going to date him anyways. Because,
Right?
I mean, let's be real here. Because,
Right.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I mean, it I don't know. I guess it like kind of opens up the discussion of like, should K-pop artists be allowed to date?
Yes.
Obviously, EXO is, I mean, a lot of the older groups are, sometimes the contracts are like when they first start out, they're not allowed to date. But, as time goes on, the contracts will open up to where they can date. Personally, I think they should be able to date. They're humans. They're not, you know,
As we've said before, because we've seen I think an increase, or at least it feels like an increase to me, in idols with mental health issues regarding depression and anxiety. And guess what? I know that they have their group, and I know a lot of times these groups are like tight, like family tight. And I know they have their company and all that. But you know what? Sometimes humans need like a different kind of love and affection, you know? And not getting that could maybe contribute to them feeling depressed and lonely and unhappy. So, yeah.
right. Yeah. And the thing is you're not stopping these idols from dating. I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, they're dating.
Yeah.
They're dating.
They're just
Okay?
being really,
They
really
just
good
being
at
secret
hiding it.
about it. And that's going to bring a strain on a relationship, which also is going to affect an idol's mental health. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that is upset because they're not being open about the relationship or whatever, and all of those things, that's gonna add a toll. And I'm not saying that's what girlfriends or boyfriends are doing to these idols, but it's more than likely going to happen in situations like these, you know?
Yeah.
So it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's frustrating. And it really does come down to just those delusional fans that really think that they have a chance, I guess, And I get that the younger fans, it's harder to maybe come to to grips with reality, but
If you got
neither
money
is
to
it,
buy a daggone truck, guess what? I seriously doubt you're a teenager, which means you need to
right?
grow up.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean I could be wrong because I was a teenager once. And and there was older, singers and actors and stuff that were my parents' age that I was like, whew. So maybe teenagers would, fangirl over 30-year-olds, but I would say their main market is an older group and like just get a grip.
Yeah.
Get a grip on reality. It's not
Agreed.
happening. And
100%.
let them live their lives.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You love your idol, you genuinely love your idol, then you would want what's best for them and what makes them happy. And in the end, if you are being a possessive, delusional, fake imaginary girlfriend, you don't genuinely love that idol. And I don't care who
Right.
says that they do. If you're being like that, you don't. Because you don't care about their happiness.
Right? I agree. In a way, it's really sad because in a way, the XOLs that sent that truck got what they wanted. I mean, not as a direct result, but
Not as a director's result. But...
they got what they asked for and more because we can pull up the article.
Okay. Sure.
If we want. I don't know if we'll read the article, but we can pull it up.
Not a problem. Okay. So, oh goodness, I'm so horrible with names. You want to read her?
Great. So, Baekhyun, Schumann, and Chin filed for termination with SM. And what it was over was, from what I understand, what it's over is they had asked for, I think basically like their payrolls, like almost like the
documents
equivalent.
detailing the earnings and payments.
Yeah.
Which that law was just recently passed too, that any idol that asks for that, the company has to provide it without issue whenever they ask for it.
Right. And they submitted it 7 times and it got ignored from what I understand each time. And it sounds like that they're not getting paid.
Or not getting paid,
or at least they're not getting paid in full. Yeah. So the 3 have terminated their contracts and even issued a statement to XOLs, I believe. I'm not sure if it's on this one or not. But and the other thing was
terminated the contracts. I think they're taking them to court to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. So they're wanting to terminate the contracts, and it was over the payment thing. And I believe that it was also over the contracts because they were wanting them to sign, and they have been. I think they've been requiring them to sign contracts that are, 12 to 13 years or 17 to 18 years, and they're having, and it's not just XOL or XO. Younger groups are also required to sign these lengthy contracts, which they call, I think they call them like slave contracts.
I mean, that's the general term. I think the general term that's sometimes used with certain K-pop contracts. But this one seems almost right on the bar there. Now, there was also a response. SM responded and then they responded back.
Right. I'll admit, I read the response, and I have the response written in my little notes. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I saw it in kcord where others were kind of explaining it. But I was like, I don't know, SM, you guys are kind of shady.
All right, so here's SM Entertainment rebuffs EXO, Chen Baekhyun, and Humans claims of non-transparent account and unreasonable contracts in a new statement. We already covered that. So SM basically said, "Oh Lord, SM, you really got into it, didn't you?" Okay. So hello, this is SM Entertainment. As we have received notification from the representation of Bayu Baekhyun, Kim Jongdae, and Kim Min-sok, hereafter to be referred to as the artist, our company will also be releasing our point of view. Firstly, EXO is an artist that our company truly thinks of preciously. Because of that, even during the period of our current contract, we have already increased our salary rates twice. We have been
Well, you can increase the rates, but if you ain't paying the people, then you aren't doing much. Or you're not making the full payments. I
Yeah.
mean, I can say I'm going to pay you $100 an hour, but if I only, pay you actually 50, then it's not really
Right, exactly.
much of a promise.
They said we have been paying our artists for many years under the circumstances that they can check our accounting records at any time. During these years, they have not expressed any dissatisfaction with our payment process at all, even during the point in time when we were discussing contract renewals with our artists, as their current exclusive contract was coming to an end. As the discussion ended on a note of equal footing, Bayon Baekhyun, Kim Jong-dae, and Kim Min-sok all signed new exclusive contracts with us, and during this process, either no problems arose due to payment issues. However, the legal representative suddenly began claiming that this new exclusive contract could not be acknowledged, and we began receiving tip-offs that there were external forces that were causing our artists to waver. Our company was very taken aback, but in order to completely respect our precious artists' opinions, we suggested signing a mutual agreement, and we requested that instead they had to reassure us that they did not sign any double contract that violates our exclusive contract. Then the artist's legal representative, who had first suggested signing the agreement, suddenly changed his attitude and halted discussions of the agreement and informed us that they would be terminating their exclusive contract with us without any explanation regarding the double contract. Every month we undergo the payout process, and it is possible to view the accounting data. The artists have not raised any problems. Firstly, it is completely. I'm skimming at this point because they some wordy people.
They are.
As for the claims of the artist that we have not properly provided the accounting data, and we will explain this in detail, before the revision of the Pop Culture and Artist Industry Development Act, our company had been settling our payouts twice a year. After the revision, we have been settling it once a month. Regarding the data, the artists could visit the company whenever they want, and we have been cooperating with this so that they can check the data. However, when the artist visited, we have been separately providing the artist with the expenditure records, and the artist has not raised any issues recording our payout methods. But just as we have mentioned before, external forces have approached our artists and spread false rumors. We have also received a tip-off that they have tried to incite the artists and have been suggesting to our artists that it does not pose a legal issue if they sign exclusive contracts with them, ignoring... Well, that's the whole point of an exclusive contract, is you're exclusively signed with that one.
Mhm.
So to speak, we cannot help but suspect that the external forces had been influential in the artists raising issues about the payouts or asking for duplicate copies of all of the account data. Accordingly, we have already explained several times. Okay. It seems that SM Entertainment denied a recent request to create copies of accounting records after suspicions that XOCBX was being swayed by external forces. Okay. Is this gonna just briefly explain? Okay. SM Entertainment also explained that their contracts were all based on the standards created by the Fair Trade Commission. Contracts were also acknowledged by the Supreme Court. Content. So regarding the existing contract and the new contract's legitimacy and validity, the contract was made according to the standard exclusive contract. The contractual period, legitimacy, and validity have both been acknowledged by the Supreme Court. Secondly, okay. So lastly, SM Entertainment reinforced that the renewal contracts and agreements were created after a very long period of discussion and mutual compromise with the artists. You can read more. Okay. So it sounds like, let me see here. Okay. So SM is basically like, we give them, what they're asking for, and basically denying all the claims that were made. It sounds like they're also claiming that another label or external forces is getting into these guys' heads and hey, you should sign with us, and here's why, and you should question your company about it, and that kind of thing. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me see if I can pull up. So they said EXO 10 hours ago, EXO responds. So released of course, because these are all long statements. it's for court proceedings, so I imagine they should be for all long statements. But
Right.
yeah. legal firm and called SM Entertainment claims false they wish to be a part of EXO. The EXO members Baekhyun, Schumann, and Chen have released a new statement responding to their agency SM Entertainment's claims, including the alleged involvement of a third party in their contract termination decision. The three singers sent notices to the agency as they want to end their slave contracts. While the singers' new statement refuted any external influence in the matter, Baekhyun, Schumann, and Chen also asserted that they will be a part of the K-pop group even if they part ways with SM Entertainment. Previously, SM Entertainment claimed intervention. Okay, yeah, we saw that. The artists feel very distressed after seeing SM's official statement that keeps talking about an external third party. They feel especially distressed as it seems to clearly show the perspective that SM views the artists with. Our artists are definitely adults who can think for themselves and take responsibility for their own decisions, and they are individuals with independent thoughts and judgments. They have felt some doubts for a decade, and they mustered up fearful and difficult courage with the thought that the question they couldn't dare bring up as rookies should at least be brought up now. Our artists asked and listened to many people around them about what is right and what they need to do to find wise solutions. Of those people around them, there are family and acquaintances, seniors and juniors of the music industry, colleagues, and even staff who have worked together with the artists. Of these individuals, there are those who shared concerns, those who shared warm encouragement, and those who also expressed their support. In response, we ask if all of these people are third-party influences, malicious influence, harmful influences. Our artists are clearly human beings who can make decisions for themselves and take action for themselves. The decision to find their rights, such as requesting settlement data, was made by themselves after long deliberation and deep thought, and it is definitely not due to the intervention of external influence. The lawyer also addressed speculations trying to opt for dual contracts at the same time. SM is claiming that our artists have signed or attempted to sign dual contracts, but the three individuals have not signed or attempted to sign other exclusive contracts besides their current exclusive contract signed with SM. SM must refrain from making false claims. SM said they would only allow the viewing of settlement data and not allow provision because of the concern that it could be shared with external parties. However, even if the artists are given the settlement data and receive consultation from not only their legal representative, but also accountants around them or anyone else, this would be just exercising of the artist's rights. Even in their exclusive contracts, there are no regulations that state that the artist cannot show the reports provided to them with anyone else and have to only review them alone. The contracts actually include a clause that the artist can never review the data provided to them by SM for 30 days and should make appeals when necessary. SM not even providing settlement data and their legal representative and other celebrities advising them about the injustice of the situation. But SM eventually refused, which has led to contract termination. The statement also mentions several other key points in the case as claimed. Okay. So basically, they're like, you can look at the documents, but you can't share them with anyone who might be able to help you better understand the documents or how we're doing our calculations or whether or not you're being paid what you're supposed to actually be getting paid.
Right.
Is from
Which
what
doesn't
this
make
sounds like.
right, which doesn't make any sense if they were doing okay. In my opinion, that doesn't make any sense if they were doing something that was on the up and up. Why would you want to hide that, especially from like accountants and lawyers and such?
Yes.
You know, this is a contract, both parties. In fact, I'm not sure how it works in other countries, but here I believe if you sign a contract, both parties have to have a copy of the contract that's signed. I believe. I'm not
I
even
believe so too, but I could be
so
wrong. It can be
yeah.
different over there as well, so yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds shady to me. But I know when the guys filed the lawsuit or started to take action anyways, they released a statement to XOL saying that they were sorry to cause trouble. That they decided to do the law that they decided to use the law due to differences of stances between them and SM, and that they will try to look for the best way and not concern fans. So, basically do this with like as little stress to the fans as possible, which I mean, it's at this point, like take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And
Again, if a fan's a genuine fan and genuinely cares about the group, they would want what's best for them. And that means making sure that these artists get paid what they're owed. And if it seems like the company's not on the up and up here, then yeah, something needs to be done. Because that's not fair. They put literally everything they have into this. We all, at this point, know to a certain degree, obviously we don't have personal experience, but I'm saying most K-pop fans know everything that is put into these idols, everything that these idols put into what they do. Like, they literally dedicate a good portion of their lives to this, you know?
Yeah.
For all that hard work, they should be getting paid, and not just
Yeah.
paid the bare minimum. They should be
Right.
getting
And
paid what they are owed.
right. And they should be able to find out whether they're getting paid properly or not. You
Yeah.
know, if they have any doubts,
Mhm.
you know, SM should provide like full documents showing
Mhm.
look, you have been getting paid properly. Here it is. Here's the receipts.
Mhm.
Instead of going, well, you can maybe take a quick look, you know, but
Yeah.
you can't take it to anybody
You can look
to
at it, but you
show.
can't show it. I'm sorry. Let's say we have an imaginary kcord company, okay? And I go to kcord CEO, which at this point is Myanmar, but whatever. Imaginary different CEO, and I'm like, hey, I want to know how much I'm getting paid. I want to look at the records. And they go, here, you can look at them, but you can't share them with a lawyer or an accountant or anything, but you can look at them. I've already said this before. I do not number, okay? I do not
Right?
number. And so I'm going to look at that and I'm going to immediately go, yeah, this is so out of my pay grade. I don't know what
Right?
this says. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if any of this is correct. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help them for you to just let them look at it if they can't understand it. Not saying that these guys can't understand it. These guys could be freaking math geniuses for all I know and understand it perfectly. But
Right.
I understand the need and the want to take it to an accountant or a lawyer and have them look it over for you because you might not get it.
Right. And I don't think it's just as simple as like, you know, cut and dry numbers. A lot of it, and I'm not saying these guys can't do it, but a lot of it's based on percentages. So you would have to see, okay, so they release an album, you know, and so all of the sales from that album, there is a certain percentage that these guys get from those sales.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they have a concert, there's a certain percentage of the concert that they get. And of course, other things are involved too. Um, and you would have to look at the overhead cost and then figure out the percentages that would come out of that, and it would just be easier for like someone professional to do it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah. So
Look,
and then
I already got people wanting to help me take down this imaginary kcord CEO. See,
right. We covered.
we covered. We good.
Screw that guy, he's a jerk.
Whatever the hell he is, I don't know.
Give
Oh
him a name.
god,
Craig.
Craig.
Craig's our CEO.
Craig's our old recording bot that we used to use for
Right.
audio and yell at him all the time. So Craig.
Right? Yeah. We don't need him anymore. We don't use him anymore. And he's become very disgruntled and fairly cutting our pay. So
Yep.
but so it's stuff like that, you know, seeing overhead cost and
Mhm.
all of that. And it would just be easier for someone that has, you know, money number knowledge to look at something like that. Or like a lawyer looking over the contract to make
Yep.
sure that it is all on the up and up. Because I'll tell you, legal lingo, I don't know if it's the same everywhere. I'll tell you here, though, legal lingo, legal
Legal, legal,
lingo,
legal,
legal,
legal.
legal is not the same as just everyday English, which
Nope.
I can't even do that. So,
Right? Like, we would be
you
like
know,
triple screwed. We can't number, we can't legal, and we
we
can't
can't legal,
English.
we can't English. I mean, we need the help.
Yeah,
So,
we'd be out of luck.
yeah. So
Oh goodness.
yeah, I don't blame them. They need to take care of themselves. And you know, they said, you know, about the unfairness we've been experiencing. We're actually trying to let our small voices out, but we are actually extremely scared and frightened,
Mhm.
which I can understand. SM is like huge. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a giant to take on, and
And
you know,
we've been seeing idols fighting against, you know, smaller companies, not even necessarily like small companies, but definitely smaller than SM. Um and them struggle, you know. So yeah, I can imagine taking on a giant like that.
right. Yeah. And the last thing that they stated was, please have hope for our small courage. We thank you sincerely once again for supporting us for such a long time.
Yeah.
And, and that's another risk that you're taking, is that when you take these risks, you don't always know how stands are going to accept it. They could see it as betrayal, or who knows? I mean, good God, a small group got upset about one of them getting engaged, and another one dating and cheating. So I can see how, and I'm not
Yeah.
saying all XOLs. This is just that was a small group. So it's one of those things where you don't know what your future is going to look like. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I wish them the best of luck. I really do. I wish them the best of luck. And
Yeah.
I know it mentioned that they hope to be able to still, come back and perform and on all that with the rest of EXO. I don't know how that works, especially after leaving a company, and it seems like so far it's not so great terms. But I
Right.
wish them the best of luck. I really do.
Yeah. So do I.
Oh.
So do I. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah. But in more happier news,
move on to our next topic.
our next topic. In June, we have got a crap ton of comebacks that is going to have Free and I hopping like crazy. But we'll take it. But we have, let's see, June 1st is going to be BI's with his second full album, To Die For.
Oh, I want to watch.
Me too. Right? Like, huge fan. So fast. Good
Right.
Lord. That was amazing. The last one we did was amazing. So, and then the second is Stray Kids' 5-star album that is going to be released. And I cannot tell you how excited I am.
Released already. Came out
Oh,
last
it
night.
released.
BI's
Then
was
they
yesterday,
did it early.
and Stray Kids was like
the
second their time.
That's because I don't realize what day it is. I forgot it was June.
It's June 2nd already.
It's June 2nd. So it came out today. Yeah.
We
Technically
will be
yesterday
watching
their
that.
time. Yeah. Or our time. Anyways. Yes. We will be reacting to that.
And uploading
when is that
Saturday.
going to be up? Tomorrow?
Mhm.
It'll be up tomorrow. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then on the 8th, we have P1 Harmony's 6-minute album, Harmony All In,
Mhm.
I think.
Yep.
So, and I've been seeing concept photos. I saw Kyo's concept
Oh my
photo.
god.
Oh
my god.
It looks good. At least I think it's concept photos. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I saw
so.
photos.
But like his hair is like
I saw
white.
photos of him and it looked good.
His hair is like white, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They even bleached his eyebrows.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So he got his nails done.
Yeah.
It looks
yeah.
good.
I think Intak went lighter too with his hair. I remember correctly. I swear to God, I just looked at the concept photos again last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was waiting for Mer to lose it with her baby soul.
I haven't seen his though.
He's darker hair. I want to say it's not as long. Like he still has long hair, but it's like not as long as it's been. I don't know. It kind of almost reminds me a little bit of Debut Soul. Not quite as young looking, but still. But Potato Baby he changed up his hair a little bit.
Aww.
He looks adorable as usual.
I'll take it. I mean, if Dad's gonna change his hair, he should change his up just a little bit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it so much. I think this is the first comeback we've had since we've like started a hard stand-em.
I think so. I know we did cover their last comeback. Actually, I want to say that we covered their last 2 comebacks, but we were like kind of late to them. We weren't like on them.
Right. We're gonna be on them now.
Yeah. I saw they've
But
been releasing those snippets. I have not gone near them though. I'm trying to
right,
be
I feel like I'm going
surprised.
to spoil. Like, it's hard because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, no spoilers, but I so wanna.
Say that in the second an MV teaser drops, you know we're gonna watch it. So
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's facts.
Yep.
And another comeback that has me a little shocked, to be honest, is on the 9th is BTS with the title track, Take Two, which, from what I understand, it's not like an MV. It's going to be. I'm not exactly sure what it is,
I feel like they're basically
but it's not.
releasing like some new music, but there's not gonna be like a lot of like much for us to really watch, you know. Um
Right.
I mean, obviously we can watch a video with the song in it, but it's not gonna be like an MV, and I think they're only selling digital versions of the album.
Yeah, because I don't even think I think it's just one song.
Yeah, if I don't know, I legit, and I feel bad saying this since I am part army, I only just heard about it a couple days ago, which is another reason why I feel like it's not going to be that big, because it's if it was something that was going to be like big, you know, Hybe would be like promoting this all the way to outer space.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we did pre-order the P1 Harmony album, so
We did. Yes.
we was on that. Actually,
Oh,
we
yes.
pre-ordered signed versions.
Yes.
Yes, we pre-ordered signed versions. Oh.
It's one of those situations where you don't know who you're getting, but
We'll be happy either way.
yeah, it don't matter.
Yep.
We'll just be happy. But yeah, yeah, I think it's just the one song for BTS.
Mhm.
And then on the 12th, VAV's album, the 7th mini album, I think it's called Subconscious. It's spelled weird,
Okay.
but I think it's called Subconscious. So VAV is going to have one, which I know we've covered them. But we don't cover them a lot, but I think we've covered them.
Yeah, it's something I'd like to check out. I just don't know if it's like, because they're not technically one of our ults, so it's not something that we would probably be like working overtime to jump on day of. But maybe like,
Right.
because I mean, even some of our ults, we're gonna still have to put in catch up benches because
Right.
that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get to it eventually. It's got to give somewhere. And unfortunately it's going to be there. And then on the 13th, the next day, is the Boys' Japanese album.
Which they released the MV for the Japanese. I thought it was. I think it's the title track "Delicious." That dropped like a couple days ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So did they drop it like 10 days early or 11 days early? Because it
I don't know.
was
All I know
scheduled
is
for the 13th.
the MV dropped, so I'm almost wondering if this. I don't know, because all the concept photos have like "delicious" on them, so that's what makes me think it's the title track. So I almost wonder if they dropped the title track before dropping the album, or unless there's gonna be more, and they're gonna drop more. It was good. I can't wait to listen to it. It's probably
Right?
as soon as we can. I swear, as soon as we can.
Right? We're swamped. So swamped.
That's what I'm thinking. It's gotta be some kind of pre-release.
Maybe a pre-release. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But the album probably. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, there was an extra B in there somewhere.
Probably.
Probably. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it. Oh, wow, we are going to struggle with words today. Maybe it isn't getting released till the 13th.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Well, because it says so.
Oh.
Like I pulled up the MV here just to look at the I'm not playing you. Stop trying to autoplay. Just to pull up what it says in the information section. So it does still have it scheduled for 13 for the release. It says it's their new full album. So it's a full album, 8 songs. So I'm guessing this has got to be a pre-release, and then there's gonna be another one released on the day of album release.
That's exciting.
Hell yeah. Hell
Me
yeah.
too. And then on the 14th, the next day is DKB's 6th mini album, I Need Love, which we will give it. We're so excited.
We pre-ordered
Again,
that too.
we
So-
pre-ordered that one too. Right.
A lot of pre-orders going on
on
this
it.
month.
A lot. So, in other words, we broke. So, because speaking of pre-order, the Tease's ninth mini
Oh wait,
album.
what about Anteam also? Anteam's on the 14th also?
Oh, right.
So we're having
Yeah.
2 on the 14th.
Yes, we have 2 on the
Ooh.
14th. And Team is also releasing their album. And then yeah. So
That's gonna be
which
dangerous.
I would pre-order that, but
Can't find it.
I can't find where you can buy their albums.
Yeah.
I have looked everywhere.
Yeah. J-pop's been a
So
little bit harder to find for me.
apparently, yeah, because I really struggle with that. Um, but and then the 16th is Tease's ninth mini album, the World episodes Outlaw. I
Episode
think
2
is
Outlaw, yeah.
yeah, episode 2. Yeah.
Which I that comeback alone is breaking me.
Something.
I got a shirt that came in today for it, and I got another one coming in, and I don't even know at this point how many copies of the album I've pre-ordered. I almost pre-ordered 3 more this morning, and I was like, no, you really need to stop, because I'm pretty sure I've got like 5 pre-ordered at this point,
Wow.
maybe. I have to
And
look
that's not
again.
even the signed
And that's
one.
not even the signed ones. If the signed ones would
'Cause
ever
we
get
missed
restocked,
out.
guess what? I'd get those too. I would jump on those in a heartbeat.
Right? Yeah, so would I. I think I'm gonna have to order through Macari at this point because
Yeah.
I don't think the pre-albums are gonna happen
Well,
for me.
I
It's just
saw on Choice, which is where we normally order from. I've been ordering through Hello 82 though for like the signed ones and some of their other ones. But Choice, the copies they have come with autographed Polaroids.
oh nice.
Like, and it says like it's real, like legit autographed Polaroids.
Right?
And that
Yeah.
was the ones I almost pre-ordered this morning and had to get control of myself.
I know. I can't at this point because I need part of the problem with the podcast that I was having was that my computer is like, girl, I wasn't made for this, and I'm just like, you need to try. And it tries and it fails. So I gotta save up for a computer, and if I ever want to see these boys' faces live,
Right? Right? Because they did just release to their Latin America tour, which I saw some of our kcorders in chat were talking about it this morning, that were saying based off of that, plus with the promotions of Outlaw, that if they do come back to the US this year, it's not going to be till like well after August. So
that gives me a lot
end
of
of
time
the
to save.
year-ish, which I'm cool with.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I want to see them. I want them to come. Yeah, but y'all need to give me some time to save because y'all already broke my wallet this month. Like,
Eight. I know. Well, here's the thing, and I have a confession to make, and if anybody that knows me sees this, just mind your business. But
just my.
I have a like a life monumental high school reunion thing coming up. I won't say what year it is.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to confess what year.
You
it is.
going?
No, because
What?
it's in October, and I'm concerned that there's going to be a concert that I'd rather go to, and you have to like prepay for for like
RSVP ticket. Are you coming? Yes or no? No. Why? ATs is more important.
right.
Period.
Like, can I check the box? Maybe, which there isn't, because I have to confirm like this month or next month, and I'm like, I need to give you less notice because, damn, I might have plans.
Right?
And so, am I basing my high school reunion, going to my high school reunion, off of an ATEEZ concert? Yeah, I am, because I just, it could be farther down the year than that, but I don't want to dish out
I
the
don't
money
blame
for
you. I
this.
wouldn't go to my high school reunion either.
Right?
So
So
it'd be funny though, walking in there. What do you do? Well, here's our YouTube
right.
page.
just just watch a few videos, you'll understand.
Or not. Whatever.
Right? So yeah. I yeah. I don't I don't want to go because I don't want to give up a possible concert.
I don't
Because you
blame
have
you
to
there.
dish out the money ahead of time and everything. And I'm just like, that's not
Mm-mm.
happening. So chicken dinner versus wife.
Wife
Wife
wins,
wins hands
hands
down.
down.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely. If it is between chicken and my wife, I'm picking my wife. And that's a
Yep.
big thing because I love chicken.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, there wasn't a maybe depending on concert box, so couldn't check that.
Nope.
And then the last comeback is on the 23rd with IMs from Monster X.
Oh my god.
He will be releasing his album
can't.
EP Overdrive.
No. 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 I can't.
Look,
I can't. We just had Jew Honey. I can't. I can't. I refuse.
I am not necessarily hoping for anything, but hoping for something. That baby has been getting naked quite a bit, and I just, not that he's even close to being a baby. Thank goodness for older groups. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love how because you're like double biased in
Yeah.
Monster X, right?
Yeah.
I love how they both are like, we'll release something.
I know. And I'm like, y'all need to stop. Jew Honey was enough. I nearly died. Because he
Right?
shocked
He
the hell out
released
of me. He was like, hey, I'm going to get emotional. And then, boom, neon and bass drop. And I'm like, this is too much. This is, no. No.
and then IM's like, wait, you're rap line bias. I better put something out too. So
And I was like, and I'm like, dude, this is a new development. You need to give me a minute to adjust.
Oh, he wants to consummate this marriage free. So
Yeah.
just go to the 20 or 30. Everyone is pretty cool by then.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like if I still waited till then, never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing about the school I used to go to.
Right? I'm sure like everybody's cool in stuff
They
now.
just not as important as her wife.
They just not. I just if
Or
I'm
her
picking
husband.
between right?
Your wife,
Yeah.
your husband, your
My wife and
boyfriend,
husband.
children.
My boyfriend, children. We'll get into that later. I'm sure that's confusing as all get out. We will attempt to explain it.
Ren
We
from
might have
Newest
to
is
do
supposed
it.
to release on 13th. Yeah, see, like the ones we picked out
Oh.
were just like mostly like alts and ones that were like for sure have down on schedule. But there's still a lot of other comebacks that are coming out in June too. Like so
Oh, there
many,
was
we
a
couldn't even
huge
list them all
list.
right now. And
Right?
a lot of those are gonna might have to get pushed back a little while or get grouped into like multiple binge catch-ups because okay, I don't know, I guess now is probably a decent enough time to say it. So I have something coming up possibly later this month or beginning of next month. I won't know for sure until beginning of next week. But I have a major dental surgery coming up that's like the kind that's gonna like knock me on my butt for like a week or two. And so when that happens, we're gonna have to take a small little break. We're gonna try and pre-record as much as we possibly can, so that way Mark can hopefully edit and upload during that time. And then I think Mark's gonna also, what you talking about, looking at some FMVs and compilation videos possibly.
Right. Yeah.
Trying to release some stuff during that break. So I don't, depending on when, because of course this all has to happen this month, you know. So depending on when
Right.
everything lands, there's a good chance we're gonna be doing a lot of catch up binges whenever we come back from that little 1 to 2 week break.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
another reason why we're not sure who all for sure we're going to get to this month. but these are the ones that we're gonna like do our damned hardest to knock out before then.
Exactly. Yeah. Which will change some of our live schedules and stuff too. So we can't talk about it here because it's a different.
It's a different
Anyways.
place, and we's gonna get in trouble if we mention that name. We learned that our very first live stream.
Right. So we'll give those updates later in the week, or well, tonight. We can do that.
Yeah, we can talk about it
give those
tonight. We
updates.
just won't have any like for sure dates until hopefully beginning of next week.
Right. So yeah. So yeah, I mean that's some kcord news. Things are about to get wild.
Yeah. A possible 1 or 2 week break during the busiest time of year with a lot of our old groups.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, we'll see. We're winging it. We're winging it right now. So yeah, but we'll keep you all updated for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this podcast was supposed to be an hour, and we're already over that.
Yeah, and we still had
and we have not even
2 more topics to cover. Do we want to just save those 2? I mean, we can always try and do another podcast. I mean, this one, I feel like this one went fairly well once we got the swing of things. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I don't know. I guess we can see about, we were talking about doing this like once a month around the beginning of the month. But again, due to the news we just talked about, maybe we can do another one in like 2 weeks and try and cover the rest of the topics we have.
Cover the rest of the topics. We can do it more often. It was kind of like, since this is new, kind of giving me a learning curve on how to do it all, because I still have to figure out like the whole podcast part of it all. And so yeah, let's kind of save the rest of it for later because we talk too much.
We do. That's why we was like, we can do a podcast. We talk a lot. We talk a whole lot. We can, heck yeah. Like, Murray last night goes, I only have 4 topics. I don't know if this is going to be enough. And I was like, you do realize we talk a lot, right? like we've done like whole recording days. Like most of our recording days, we have like YouTube recording, Patreon recording. And we try and knock out a whole week's worth of YouTube videos in a day and a whole week's worth of Patreon videos in a day. And you know what? It's very rare that we actually meet that goal. Sometimes there's been times where we've only made like 2 recordings in the whole day because we got distracted and just talking. So I was like, just talking for a video, we got this. No problem.
Not a problem at all.
Nope.
So I think we'll we'll wrap it up. Maybe we'll try to do one in a couple of more weeks, and maybe in that time I can figure out this whole podcast thing. Yeah. And we can get a better system down and it can go easier. Yeah. So
and no super chats this time around, so we don't need to take the time to do that at the end here. Mm-hmm.
Right. So
but yeah, once Mur has everything down with the podcasts and where you can find it afterwards and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure she will spread the word.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you all.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. And we'll go ahead and go. For those of you who don't know, or even for those of you who do, we are still going live tonight on another place that I can't mention. You should already know. If not, we'll post it everywhere like we normally do. But live later tonight watching Boys Planet. Right. So that'll be fun.